Elevation, new from Stephen King.
Good morning, America. ABC News exclusive. President Trump one-on-one pushed for answers on the eve of the midterms.
You're the president. They can't arrest people crossing the border.
The president ramping up fears of a foreign invasion, plus what he says about his campaign promise to never lie.
When I can, I tell the truth.
Our John Carl is on the trail. 5 days to go.
Tornado threat. Twisters tearing through the south, closing in on these homes. Now the storm on the move. 10 states on alert this morning, and millions from Washington to Boston bracing to get hit.
Breaking news. The big discovery. Dramatic new footage the moment divers finally found one of those mysterious black boxes from that downed 737. What caused the plane with 189 people on board to crash into the sea?
Another deadly school bus accident on the heels of that tragedy in Indiana. The 24-year-old who killed these siblings now revealing she had 3 kids in her car. What she told police she did and didn't see just before the crash.
ABC News exclusive, football firestorm. The new twist overnight. University of Maryland's coach DJ Durkin now fired after a player died during practice. But is that enough to fix what some are calling a dangerous culture? Now that player's father is here only on GMA.
In Boston's big blunder, huge crowds celebrating the champion Red Sox at their victory parade when one of them takes the team's phrase, do damage a little too far.
Live in Times Square, this is GMA with Robin Roberts, George Stephanopoulos, and Michael Strahan.
Good morning, America. It's great to have you with us on this Thursday morning. It's great to have you here, Cecilia, but you're not here to do damage.
No damage. I won't throw anything, I promise. You know how we love a watch again. So let's watch again. A fan throwing a beer, hitting the World Series trophy in Boston. You're just a little excited out there. I get it.
You're trying to throw the beer to the player, then.
I guess, but kind of a good thing it hit the trophy, not somebody's head.
Yeah.
It's a full beer right there. We'll show that later again, but we're going to begin with ABC's exclusive interview with President Trump. Just 5 days before the midterms, the president wants all the focus to be on his signature issue, surprising even the Pentagon with a new call to send more troops to the Mexican border, raising fears of a foreign invasion at odds with the facts. Our chief White House correspondent John Carl spoke with the president last night after a campaign rally in Florida. He joins us now from Marco Island. Good morning, John.
Good morning, George. I flew with the president down to Florida aboard Air Force One, where he kicked off his final sprint of campaign rallies going into Election Day. I spoke to him backstage and began by asking him about that call to dramatically increase the number of active duty U.S. military personnel going to the border. Okay, you're talking about 10,000, maybe 15,000 active duty U.S. military to the border, more than we have fighting the Taliban in Afghanistan, more than we have fighting ISIS in Syria. Right. You're really going to do that?
It's very important. We have to have a wall of people, very highly trained people, terrific, dedicated patriots. That's what they are. You have caravans coming up that look a lot larger than it's reported, actually. I mean, I'm pretty good at estimating crowd size, and I will tell you, they look a lot bigger than people would think.
What we see is deeply impoverished people fleeing violence, many of them women and children. You're going to send 15,000 active duty U.S. military?
Mostly men, and it's actually mostly young men, and a lot of rough people, John. They're pushing the women right up into the front, not good, and they're pushing the few kids right up to the front.
But they're 900 miles away. The active duty military, you know the law. I mean, you're the president. Yep. They can't arrest people crossing the border. They can't.
It depends. National emergency covers a lot of territory. They can't invade our country. You look at that, it almost looks like an invasion. It really does look like an invasion.
Those caravans are an invasion?
Oh, I think so. I think when you look at some of them, when you look at some of the people within the caravan, yeah, I think it could be considered an invasion of our country. We can't have it.
But there has been no formal national emergency declaration, which means those troops can only act in support of Border Patrol, doing things like transporting agents and building tents. President Trump has made fear of illegal immigrants a key theme of his closing argument for the midterms. But health care has emerged as a top campaign issue, with many Republicans hammered over a GOP lawsuit that would do away with Obamacare's requirement that insurance companies must cover people with pre-existing conditions, a lawsuit supported by the White House. You've been saying that Democrats want to take away pre-existing conditions. I mean, it's your administration that's supporting a lawsuit that would allow help.
No, but I'm going
insurance
to
companies.
replace pre-existing conditions, and I've always been there. What the Democrats are going to do is they're going to destroy our entire health care, and you're not going to have any health care.
And as President Trump makes his final push before Tuesday's election, he's spending all of his time in states he won, campaigning for candidates for Senate and governor.
I think we're doing great in the Senate, as you would probably see and say, and I've heard you sort of say it, but we're doing pretty well in the Senate, and I think we're doing pretty well in the House. You know what I'll say? It's going to be an interesting evening.
But he seems to be all but conceding that Democrats are likely to win control of the House. Can you work with them if the Democrats win the House?
Well, we'd certainly try. I'm looking to unify. I always like to unify. We will certainly try. They've had a very hard time because they haven't been winning, and we'll see what happens in 5 days from now. It'll be very exciting, and it's going to be a very close race. They don't talk about the blue wave anymore. It's going to be a very close race. I think the Senate, we're looking very good. We feel very good about the Senate. And frankly, I think we feel pretty good about the House, but a lot of people, so many races, it's hard for me to get to every one of them.
If they get into the investigations and they get into your business dealings, ask for your tax returns.
I've been an open book for so long, John. You know that better than anybody. I mean, I'm an open book. And frankly, so many people have looked at me for so many years, and I guess it's probably one of the reasons I won. But I think that they're going to want to get along, too.
And finally, you remember well in the campaign, you made a promise.
In this journey, I will never lie to you. I will never tell you something I do not believe.
Can you tell me now, honestly, have you kept to that promise at all times? Have you always been truthful?
Well, I try. I mean, I do try. I think you try, too. You say things about me that are not necessarily correct. I do try, and I always want to tell the truth. When I can, I tell the truth. I mean, sometimes it turns out to be where something happens, it's different, or there's a change, but I always like to be truthful.
Mr. Trump has a long and established record of making exaggerations and false claims. The Washington Post has tracked more than 5,000 false or misleading claims since he became president. One of the misstatements that I asked him about was his statement that the United States is the only country in the world that has birthright citizenship. In fact, there are more than 30 countries that have birthright citizenship, including Canada. When I pressed him on that, he said simply, "That's what I was told." George?
Yeah, and John, the president did seem a lot more confident about the Senate than the House in his talk with you. Are they braced in the White House for a loss in the House, especially, as you pointed out, with the possibility of new investigations coming?
There's no question that they are already preparing for that. And you can see it in the president's schedule, George. The president is going to states to campaign for Senate candidates. He's not going to campaign for House candidates. He's going to those Republican states, the states that he won, that have Democrats up for re-election. He's campaigning hard there. He's really not even pushing hard on the House candidates right now.
John Carl, thanks very much. Cecilia?
Okay, George, just 5 days until the all-important midterm elections. More than 25 million people have already voted. That tops the total number of early ballots in 2014. With control of Congress up for grabs, both sides are now pulling out all the stops, and that means the big names are out on the campaign trail. Our senior congressional correspondent, Mary Bruce, is on Capitol Hill with the latest. Perhaps, Mary, the biggest name of them all is out there today. Oprah?
Oprah, Cecilia, she is making an appearance out on the campaign trail in what could be a history-making governor's race. Remember, while there is so much focus being paid to what happens here on Capitol Hill, there are 36 governor races that could reshape the political landscape.
With the final countdown on, the campaign trail is seeing a surge of star power.
Not only democracy depends on it, our country depends upon it. So vote, vote, vote.
Vote! Oprah hitting the trail in the contentious, closely watched race for Georgia's governor.
Get out and vote early.
Actor Will Ferrell rallying canvassers there over the weekend.
I believe that we will win. I believe that we will win.
The race could make history as Democrat Stacey Abrams hopes to become the nation's first female African-American governor.
The best way to win is to overwhelm the system with our democracy.
Abrams facing off against Trump-backed Republican Brian Kemp. But Abrams is raising concern over voting access in her state. She says Kemp has used his position as Georgia's Secretary of State to make it more difficult for minorities to vote.
I don't question his heart. I do question the results. Regardless of his intent, the result is that racial bias has been injected into our system. And that undermines confidence in our democracy.
But Kemp staunchly denies the allegations, insisting he's simply enforcing current law.
This farce about voter suppression and
people being held up from being on the rolls and being able to vote is absolutely not true.
Now, Oprah isn't the only big name down in Georgia today. Vice President Pence will be there campaigning for Brian Kemp, and the president, Cecilia, will be there rallying his supporters on Sunday.
He certainly will, Marion. One of the X factors in this race for both sides could end up being women, both those running and those who are voting.
Yes, Cecilia, we haven't really seen anything like this before. A record number of women running. You have more than a quarter of all candidates are women, more than 80 women of color, many of them first-time candidates. Many of them say they were inspired to run in direct response to Donald Trump.
All right, thanks, Marion. We are down to the wire. Be sure to join us for full coverage on election night. George is anchoring, joined by our whole political team. I'll be right there, too, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday, right here on ABC.
One seat over.
Yep, there we go. It'll be fun.
Well, one seat over. We can't wait to see that. And now we're going to go to those dangerous thunderstorms that are bringing tornadoes, heavy winds, and floods across the South, even turning deadly. Ginger is tracking the latest. Good morning, Ginger.
Good morning, Michael. We have a really dangerous morning. Eastern Mississippi, western Alabama. You see that ugly line there? Actually, radar confirmed tornadoes within that. But we know it has the potential to do it because it did it yesterday in Texas. There were a couple that were at least reported, but you can see the image there. That tells us that that's likely a tornado in Katy, Texas. Now, this low is with the cold front attached is going to give a tornado watch until 1 p.m. That's what's a little bit different. A lot of times we see an afternoon or evening type of outbreak. This is all starting now. I mean, you have the morning and afternoon, going to work, going to school to be concerned about. Montgomery, Tallahassee, you get into it a little bit later this afternoon. And then the heavy rain is the next part we have to talk about because that's going to end up impacting us here by tomorrow night. Michael?
All right. Thank you so much, Ginger. George?
Okay, Michael, we have breaking new developments overseas in that plane crash mystery. Underwater divers have now recovered one of the missing black boxes from the Lion Air flight that crashed in the waters off Indonesia. ABC's David Curley has the latest. Good morning, David.
Morning, George. A major break 3 days after this horrific crash. One of the black boxes now found. It could have the answers as to why that new jetliner went down. This morning, the first of two black boxes from the doomed Indonesian flight found. Directed by its pinging, divers recovered the important data recorder, which could explain why the Lion Air jet fell out of the sky just 13 minutes into its flight. Some of the wreckage of the nearly brand new 737 now seen on the floor of the Java Sea, where divers will look for that second box, the voice recorder. Overnight, one eyewitness saying she saw thick black smoke pouring out of the aircraft.
On the side of the plane.
She says it was just after takeoff under the right wing near the wheel well of the landing gear. And this video given to ABC showing passengers boarding an hour before the tragedy, which killed 189. Investigators from the NTSB and Boeing are now on the scene, some of them examining the wreckage of the 737 MAX 8, which has been recovered already. The airline says there was a technical issue the day before on the 2-month-old jet, but claimed it was resolved. The search for that voice recorder will resume, but this was a brand new jet, and it had the capability to beam data to the ground. Boeing and the engine maker GE declined to comment on whether they already have some data on this doomed jetliner, George, but that black box is a major break in finding it.
Yeah, we hope we should be able to find out soon. David Curley, thanks very much. Cecilia?
All right, George, thanks. Now to those new chilling details about notorious mob boss Whitey Bulger's death. We're learning who may have killed him just after he was transferred to a new prison. ABC's Gio Benitez is in Boston with more on this. Good morning, Gio.
Hey, Cecilia, good morning. Yeah, we're in South Boston, or Southie, and you see this building right here? That used to be Triple O's Lounge. It's where so many of Bulger's shakedowns happen, and this morning it is a far cry from the prison where he was killed.
This morning, new reports that notorious gangster Whitey Bulger may have been killed in a mob hit. One of the alleged attackers, thought by many to be 51-year-old mob hitman Freddie Gius, who is serving a life sentence for violent crimes, including the murder of another mob boss, Big Al Bruno. A private investigator saying Freddie hated rats and that since Bulger was an FBI informant, his murder was not a surprise. According to the New York Times, Bulger was found severely beaten. Officials telling the paper he was attacked with a padlock stuffed inside a sock.
You're going to be responding to the maximum security. They advise CPR in progress.
Bulger's violent past included at least 11 murders, spending 16 years on the run until his capture back in 2011. Cold comfort for the families left behind.
When you hear the name Whitey Bulger, what do you think?
I used to get real angry
you know, and my thoughts were evil. I feel grateful that he died brutally and not from a natural cause.
Stephen Davis lost his sister to Bulger's gang. She was just 26. Bulger's partner pleaded guilty to her murder, but says it was Bulger who strangled her.
Do you feel at peace now with his death?
Very much so. He's where he belongs, in the dirt, where he put a lot of other people.
And now this morning, some are raising questions about why Bulger was moved to that prison and put in the general population. But Cecilia, as you just saw, his victims are not complaining.
Quite a story. Okay, Gio, thank you. George?
Yeah, now we have a frightening crash caught on tape. Take a look at this right here. A driver plows into a liquor store in Michigan, hits that man inside. Thankfully, that man survived. He broke his hip and leg, but is expected to recover. Store clerks say the woman behind the wheel was driving erratically before the crash, reversed right into the store. She's now facing charges for driving under the influence. Michael?
Wow, what video that is. And we're going to switch gears now to the Boston Red Sox and that blunder. Hundreds of fans out celebrating the new World Series champs, but they may have taken it just a little too far with the excitement. Or maybe he was trying out for the team. I don't know, but ABC TJ Holmes. TJ's here with the story. Hey, TJ.
It's that simple, straight. They broke the trophy, right? Some people just can't have nice things, right? Look, with championships, we've seen championship trophies that get passed around a lot, so sometimes people will drop them and they'll break. Not Boston. Take a look at what happened to their trophy. It's going down the street for the parade, and then it gets clocked by a beer. Yes, someone tosses a beer that breaks the trophy. Now, we're told minor repairs are needed, so it's not that big of a deal. But you leave it to Boston. They know how to celebrate, don't they?
They say the Sox are cursed, but they still won the series, so they cursed it another way with this trophy. Yeah. But it seems like tossing the beer. George said earlier, lucky he didn't hit anybody in the head.
It's a little more than a toss.
But it's kind of a tradition now to do this.
And it's Philly. It's scary to think it is tradition, but they've been having a lot of parades, celebrations in Boston between the Patriots and the Red Sox over the past 15 years.
I know.
But what the fans have taken to do is toss beers and liquor up to the players, and the players over the years have cracked them open and started drinking. So there's Mookie Betts. He's dodging them. He said this needs to stop, this tradition. Alex Cora, the manager, was hit by one, and they found the guy who threw it, and the guy was arrested. So this is tradition now they've been doing. And again, players over the years will crack them open and drink them, but it is a dangerous practice. Another young lady was hit with one, had to go to the hospital for stitches. Wow, man. So, but it is their tradition, if you will.
Keep the beer in your hand and drink it yourself.
Yeah, that's my practice.
Just not at 7 a.m. or 7 a.m. All right, Ginger, help us out here. Back over to Ginger.
I can't imagine, like, they're throwing them open, too, which is a weird part of the tradition. Like, keep them closed. All right, let's talk about the flooding. That's also a concern. It's not just tornadoes, but with that line, look what it did in Houston, Texas. Also in Iowa, Louisiana, sheets of rain impacting the drive time there. But watch what's going to happen with this cold front. It then moves. So if you have flights from Philadelphia to Washington, D.C. to New York City tomorrow night, that is going to be something you're going to want to check ahead. Your look of the weather in 30 seconds. First, though, the warm cities, sponsored by Target.
Tell me all the ways, and you said, girl, you take care of me. You are my therapy, the better half of me. Say it again. If you love me, love me, love me like you say. Darling, tell me all the ways. Tell me all the ways. Oh, all the ways.
So many ways to bring home the holidays with free 2-day shipping, drive up, order pickup, and same-day delivery. Target Run and done.
Well, get ready for a warm one today, feeling very much like mid-September. In fact, the next 2 days are going to be very warm. We're breezy this afternoon and stormy tomorrow afternoon. There's your high today at 75 degrees. After the 70s tomorrow, early at about lunchtime, expect some more moderate rain at the tail end of the evening rush. Up until midnight, most of that rain will be falling just over an inch, and there could be some ponding on area roads very late. Saturday, we clear out. We get up to 60 degrees. Sunday, sunshine, the high 59.
Coming up, another deadly school bus incident. A driver in a pickup truck hit a child as he tried to get on board. And of course, this comes right after that tragedy in Indiana. What the 24-year-old driver is now telling police.
And the new twist overnight, the University of Maryland football coach fired a day after he was reinstated. Outrage growing after a player died during practice. Now that player's father is here, what he is saying about what he calls a toxic football culture. Right here, only on GMA.
The day after chemo shouldn't mean going back to the doctor.